Everybody, today we're looking at VMware's vFabric Data Director, a fun, easy, and quick way to set up database as a service. I'm going to log in right now as a DBA. And once we're logged in, it provides us a quick view of the resources we have available to us. It's designed for multi-tenancy, so it's not going to show me everything. It's going to show me specifics on what I have access to. Over here, we see a breakdown of the resources we have, as well as the current utilization report on CPU, memory, storage, etc. And then over here, we can see a breakdown of tasks and a breakdown of alarms. Now over here, we have different tabs. I'm going to go into the Manage and Monitor tab. This is where we spend most of our time, and from here, we would get a list of what organizations we have access to, and within them, really what data centers or sandbox environments we have access to. It could be dev, test, production, whatnot. Right now, we see there's one database out there. It's a Postgress database. It's running version 9.0. Data Director supports both Postgres and Oracle databases, and in the not too distant future, we hope to see many other databases added to the portfolio. So right now, without further ado, I want to go in and create a database. We have many options here. We'll get into detail on these options at another time, but for sake of expedience right now, we're just going to run through and create a database from a database template. I'm just going to call this Oracle 1 test. Come over here to database types. We're going to say Oracle. It's Oracle 11G. I'm putting it in my sandbox. Now there's resource templates built in that the administrator controls. I'm going to say I want this medium large template. I want a bit more disk allocation. The parameters, normally we wouldn't have to modify them, but in this case I'm going to, because I want to turn this OEM on. So normally you'd be using Oracle Enterprise Manager 3 control, but in this lab environment, I've got a single database. I just want a single database control option created. Backup templates, we don't need to do any backups right now. I'm not worried about that. I'll show you that real quick later. Create my admin login credentials. Then I can actually set up an expiration date. This is a great way to minimize things like database sprawl, right? And I can say I want to delete the database when we're done. I can even do things like take a snapshot for pristine baseline, define tags for quick searches to find things, whitelist to prevent other people from accessing the system. And once I'm finished with that, I can say I'm done. Now that'll take about 3.5 minutes to create that database, because it's also creating Oracle Enterprise Manager in the process. So while that's running, I'm going to also take a look at this Postgres. If I right-click here, you get a bunch of options. I want to bring your attention to this update option. Now our administrator's gone in, the service administrator, not the database administrator, has gone in and actually defined an upgrade path for me from version 9 to 9.1. So I can actually go in and say, yes, I want to do that upgrade, keep existing values when possible. I'm not worried about protection. This is just a lab for this demo. And at that point, I could say, okay. So now what's going to happen is it's automatically going to swap out the boot drives. It's going to leave the data drives alone. It's not going to affect them. The new boot drives are going to boot to a pristine 9.1 image that's been approved already. If there's any post-processing scripts that need to run on the database, that would occur. And when it's done, it'll be up and running. So this will take a few minutes. So with that, we'll be right back. Thanks. Okay, so we're back. We see that both the Oracle database completed installing, as well as the Postgres completed updating. So Postgres is now 9.1, and we have an Oracle 11G database running. So if you recall with the Oracle, we installed Enterprise Manager. So if I click on the Oracle here and actually open it within the console, we get some additional details about the state of the current environment, what it is, if there's any link zones, bulk zones, some other general information about it. We see that from here we can do backup. We can look at specific alarms that are for this database, not system-wide alarms that are down here, and a lot of other things that we can do. We'll come back to some of these later, but for now over here we see console. If I click on console, it's actually going to open DB control if I installed it for me. So from here I can log in using that administrator login I set up during the install, and it's actually a full-fledged sysdba credential login account. So I can log in as sysdba. From there I can do all the detailed type administrative tasks that I'm comfortable with using the standard tools that the various vendors provide for their databases. But there's still a lot that we want to do within the context of Data Director. So let's say I'm in Data Director, I need to do some schema changes. Normally I'm not very empowered to the fact that things are running in the cloud, but now I am. So now if I want to take a backup, instead of running RMAN and doing a backup, and that backup can take a while, not to mention the risks of having to restore, if I'm running in a cloud, got a lot of capabilities that I didn't have before in the physical world. One of the things is the ability to do things differently. So I just want to take a snapshot. Now a snapshot is extremely quick to do and it's extremely safe. Saves everything to a pristine point in time. So basically I can just revert back to it very, very quickly. So I'm going to take a snapshot, keep it for 4 hours, just long enough for me to do some of the work I need to do. We come over here, we see it's creating the snapshot, and literally in just a matter of seconds, that snapshot is done. And now we have a pristine snapshot that is available to us. So now that I've done that, maybe I need to go in and do some work. I'm going to do some schema changes, or a developer needs to go in and do something. So how might I connect to that database to get any work done? I come over here to connection, I can grab this JDBC connection. Once I grab that JDBC connection, now it's in my clipboard, I can come over to my favorite tool. In this case, we're just going to sample SQL Developer. Say I need a new connection, and give it a name. And use the credentials again that I set up before. Change this to advanced, so I can actually just use that JDBC connection string. I'm going to test it. Success. So save, connect. Into my database, I can come over here, click on it. Run some SQL, and there you go. That database is up and running, and I have full connectivity to it. And I think that's about it. So we got to see a lot of things from provisioning an Oracle database, provisioning Enterprise Manager, upgrading Postgres from 9.0 to 9.1, accessing OEM, taking a snapshot of backup to protect me. That snapshot will automatically go away in 4 hours, so I don't have to worry about it. But had I needed it, I could actually have reverted to it, and we connected externally. So I hope that whet your appetite a little bit on how neat database as a service can be and how empowering it can be to your DBAs and your developers. So with that, come by our booth or come talk to me. I'd be happy to give you a much more detailed, thorough demo at a future date.